All right, let's talk about pugs, those tiny, wrinkled bundles of confusion we all seem to adore. You ever look at a pug and wonder what cosmic joke is being played here? I mean, these dogs don't look like they were put together in one day. They look like a project someone left unfinished on a Friday afternoon, and then they came back on Monday and went, close enough. The design of a pug. First of all, pugs don't look like regular dogs. They look like what would happen if you tried to draw a dog from memory after not sleeping for 48 hours. The face? It's like they took a regular dog, shoved it into a tiny space, and said, good enough. That flat, smushed-in face, it's like nature's way of saying, we were running out of materials, so we improvised. And the breathing. Pugs always sound like they're just a little bit out of breath, like they've been running a marathon in their sleep. You ever listen to a pug? It's not barking, it's not panting, it's some weird combination of snorting and wheezing. Every pug sounds like it's just one step away from asking for a ventilator. You take them for a walk, and halfway through they look at you like, hey, I didn't sign up for this. What are we doing here? The walking contradiction. Here's the thing about pugs. They're lazy, but they're also kind of hyper. It's like they've got two speeds, nap and sprint. They'll lie around the house all day, snoring and farting like it's their job. But the second you pick up a leash, suddenly they turn into Usain Bolt. They're off. Tiny legs moving 1,000,000 miles an hour, but they're still not going anywhere fast. It's like watching a wind-up toy that's losing battery power. But let's be real. Pugs are not built for speed. These dogs look like they were designed for the couch. Their bodies are like little loaves of bread with legs. You ever see a pug run? It's like watching a potato with enthusiasm. They're out there. They're giving it their all. But let's face it, it's more of a fast waddle than a run. And yet, they're totally unaware of this. They're confident. They think they're tearing it up out there. And you've got to admire that. The pug's just happy to be included. Pug expressions. Is that dog broken? You ever notice the expressions on pugs' faces? It's like they're constantly shocked that they exist. They've got those big, bulging eyes like they've just seen a ghost, but no, that's just their face. Pugs walk around with this look that says, wait, what's happening? Am I in the right dimension? Every time a pug looks at you, it's like they're trying to figure out if you're real or part of some weird dream they're having. Those eyes are something else though, right? I mean, they're so big and round, they look like they're about to pop out of their heads. It's like their eyeballs are too big for their skulls, so they're just barely hanging on. You've got to be careful with pugs because one wrong head shake and you're picking up eyeballs off the floor, and the way they stare at you, like they know something you don't. You'll be sitting there, minding your business, and your pug is just staring at you from across the room. Not moving, not blinking, just staring. And you start thinking, what does this dog know that I don't? It's unnerving. You can't tell if they're judging you or if they've just forgotten how to blink. Either way, it's unsettling. The quirks. A walking comic strip. Now, pugs are quirky. They're like a walking comic strip. Everything they do seems like a punchline. You ever watch a pug try to jump up onto something? It's not graceful. It's not athletic. It's a struggle. It's like watching someone try to lift a heavy suitcase onto a high shelf. They get a running start, they jump, and then flop. They don't make it, but they don't give up. Oh no, the pug is persistent. They'll keep trying over and over again, and when they finally make it, they look at you like they just climbed Everest. And you're sitting there like, buddy, that's just the couch. Pugs are also the clowns of the dog world. They have no idea how funny they are, but everything they do is comedy gold. Like when they sit down, have you ever noticed how awkwardly a pug sits? They plop down with their back legs sticking out in weird directions like they don't quite know how to sit properly. It's like they're still figuring out how their bodies work, and you can't help but laugh because it's so bizarre. Food obsessed, a pug's true calling. Let's talk about food. Pugs are obsessed with food. It's like their entire life revolves around their next meal. You could drop a crumb on the floor and your pug will be on it like a heat-seeking missile. They're always hungry. You feed them, and 5 minutes later, they're looking at you like, hey, didn't we have some sort of arrangement about more food? Pugs will eat anything, and I mean anything. They're like little garbage disposals. You ever see a pug after it's eaten something it wasn't supposed to? They've got that guilty look on their face, but they're still licking their lips like, yeah, I did it, and I'd do it again. And the weirdest part is, no matter how much they eat, they always look at you like they haven't eaten in days. Those big, sad eyes staring at you while you're eating like, please, just one bite. I haven't had food since 2 minutes ago. Pug sounds, a whole other level of communication. And the sounds they make. Pugs are like little noise machines. They snort, they grunt, they wheeze. It's like living with a tiny, snoring pig. And let's not forget the snoring. Oh, the snoring. Pugs snore like grown men. You ever try to sleep next to a pug? It's like having a chainsaw in the bed. You're trying to get some rest, and all you hear is this loud, rhythmic snorting that sounds like it's coming from a freight train. And the thing is, the pug is totally oblivious. They're out cold, dreaming about chasing squirrels or eating more food, while you're lying there, wide awake, wondering how such a small dog can produce such a massive sound. And then there's the breathing. Pugs don't breathe like normal dogs. They've got that flat face, so they're constantly snorting and huffing like they've just run a marathon, even when they've been lying down for hours. You'll be sitting in a quiet room, and all of a sudden you hear this snorting, wheezing noise from across the room. You think someone's having an asthma attack, but nope, it's just your pug, chilling on the couch, breathing like Darth Vader. The big personality in a small package. But here's the thing about pugs. Despite all their quirks, their weird breathing, and their potato-like appearance, they're some of the most lovable dogs out there. Pugs are all about love. They'll follow you around the house, they'll sit on your lap, and they'll give you that goofy smile that just melts your heart. Pugs have big personalities in small bodies. They're loyal, affectionate, and always ready to make you laugh, even if it's unintentional. A pug will always be by your side, whether you're watching TV, cooking dinner, or just trying to take a nap. They'll be there, snorting away, making their presence known. And you know what? You wouldn't have it any other way. Because a pug, for all its weirdness, is the perfect companion. They're the kind of dog that makes you feel loved just by being there. They might not be the fastest, the most agile, or the most graceful, but they're the funniest, the most loyal, and the most lovable little creatures you'll ever meet. So, if you've got a pug, or you're thinking about getting one, just know this. You're not just getting a dog. You're getting a comedian, a snoring machine, and a furry little potato with legs that will love you more than you ever thought possible. And honestly, that's all any of us really need, right?